It's late. You're in bed, scrolling, the exact thing you told yourself you'd stop doing. And there it is again. Someone you went to school with. Someone who earns roughly what you earn in a job you actually understand. And yet, there's a brand new Range Rover sitting on their drive. Last month it was Dubai. This month it's a glass box kitchen extension, lit up like a showroom. So, you do what any sensible person does. You do the maths. You know what they do for a living. You know roughly what all of that costs, and the numbers just don't add up. So, let me tell you the uncomfortable truth that nobody ever posts about. Most of them aren't rich, not even close. They are broke in designer clothes. Stay with me because I'm going to show you exactly how ordinary salaries fund these extraordinary-looking lives. The machinery, piece by piece, and the one number that quietly separates looking rich from actually being free. Here's what the highlight reel will never show you. Almost none of it is actually owned. It's borrowed. The car is borrowed. The holiday went straight onto a credit card. The kitchen is a second loan quietly stapled to the house. What you're staring at, jealous and confused at midnight, isn't wealth at all. It's a lifestyle rented by the month, and the rent never stops. There's no finish line where it suddenly all belongs to them. Just next month's payment and the one after that, forever. Think of it like a car with a gleaming body and no engine underneath. On the drive, lit up on your feed, it looks the part completely. But there's nothing under the bonnet actually moving them forward. And the numbers back this up in a way that should genuinely give you pause. The average British household now owes around 117% of its disposable income. Read that again, slowly. The typical family in this country owes more than an entire year's take-home pay. Back in the 2008 crash, that figure peaked near 156%. We've had the best part of 2 decades since, and we've barely brought it down. But here's where the illusion gets fragile. All of it, the car, the trips, the extension, is balanced on almost nothing underneath. Around 39% of Brits have £1,000 or less in savings. 1 in 4 have £200 or less. And roughly 16%, nearly 9 million people, have no savings at all. Not a single penny. So picture the moment it goes wrong. The boiler dies in the middle of January. The car fails its MOT with a 4-figure bill you didn't see coming. For most of these rich-looking lives, that one ordinary event is the pin in the balloon. No buffer, no rainy day fund. One broken boiler, and the entire performance quietly collapses. So, how is it done? How do perfectly normal salaries fund these extraordinary lives? Let me walk you through the machinery piece by piece. And you start with the car, because the car is the great British status symbol. The overwhelming majority of new cars in this country are bought on finance, and around 4 in 5 of those deals are PCP, personal contract purchase. Here's the psychological sleight of hand. Nobody stands in that showroom and asks, "Can I afford a £60,000 car?" They ask, "Can I afford £500 a month?" And with that one small change of question, a 60 grand Range Rover stops being a purchase and becomes a subscription, a monthly fee for a lifestyle you will never actually own. At the end of the term, you hand the keys back with nothing to show for it, and you sign up all over again. Even on hire purchase, where you do own it eventually, the mindset is identical. You're not buying a car, you're renting an image and paying interest for the privilege. Then there's the faster, newer version of the same drug. Buy now, pay later. Over half of UK adults, around 30 million people, have now used it. And it is no longer just for the big-ticket sofa. People are splitting a Zara haul into 4 payments, splitting an Apple order, splitting the weekly food shop, splitting a Friday night takeaway. Just sit with that for a second. People are now putting a curry on an installment plan. Each little payment feels tiny, painless, and that is precisely the design. 4 painless payments spread across 10 different apps, and suddenly next month's wages are spoken for before they've even landed in your account. You're not spending money you have. You're quietly mortgaging money you haven't even earned yet. And for the homeowners, there's the most dangerous trick of the lot: the remortgage. The house goes up in value, so you release the equity sitting inside it. Sounds clever. Here's the trap. Instead of that money becoming genuine net worth, it becomes a kitchen, a holiday, a car. You are borrowing against your own future to buy things that start losing value the very second you own them. You feel richer, but you are very quietly becoming poorer. The house looks exactly the same to the neighbours, but you own less of it than you did last year. Now let me show you what this borrowed life actually costs. Add it all up. $500 a month feeding the car, another $250 easily on buy now, pay later, and the minimum payments on the cards. And remember, the average card charges you north of 20% interest to carry that balance. Call it £750 a month every month, just to service the appearance of being wealthy. But here's the part that should stop you cold. Take that exact same £750. Instead of renting an image with it, you invest it at a steady, boring, historically average return of around 7% a year. Over 10 years, that quietly becomes the thick end of £130,000. That is the choice, laid bare. It was never car versus no car. It's a monthly performance versus a small fortune. Same money out of the same account. 2 completely different lives. So why do we fall for it? Why does this con work on clever, careful, sensible people? Because you are comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. You see your overdraft, your ordinary Tuesday, your tiredness, your real unfiltered bank balance, and you hold all of that up against their single best, most curated, most beautifully lit 10 seconds. It was never a fair fight. Nobody ever posts the direct debit. Nobody posts the lender's reminder buzzing on the phone. Nobody films the quiet panic at 3 a.m. when the numbers just won't stretch. This is where you think like an athlete. Because a good one never judges their own training ground by somebody else's highlight reel. One is real life. The other is a marketing campaign. So let me tell you what real wealth actually looks like in Britain, because I promise you it will surprise you. It's boring. It is almost completely invisible. Real wealth is a paid-off Skoda, or a 5-year-old Volvo that owes absolutely nobody anything. It's a modest semi with a little overpayment going onto the mortgage every single month. It's a maxed out ISA and a quietly growing SIP, compounding away in the background where no one can see it. It's a fully funded emergency account, just sitting there doing nothing, patiently waiting for the boiler to break so it can shrug the whole thing off without a second thought. Real wealth doesn't post, it doesn't perform, it has no hashtag, and it never trends. And here's the fascinating part. From the priciest lane in the home counties to the most ordinary street up north, the genuinely wealthy tend to look exactly the same, completely unremarkable. Because at some point they made the unglamorous decision to buy assets instead of appearances. So the next time you're lying there at midnight watching someone your age apparently living a life you cannot make sense of, remember 3 things. The car is rented, the lifestyle is borrowed, and the safety net, more often than not, simply isn't there. And here's the one line I want you to carry out of this video. Every single pound you spend on looking rich is a pound that can never compound into being free. So choose the freedom. It's quieter. Nobody's going to clap for it. But unlike everything on that screen, it's actually yours. If one part of this hit home, start with the smallest brick this week. And tell me down in the comments which trap you're done falling for.